brother teacher once again with a interesting subject or topic, and it's not a discussion because there's no one here to talk to other than me just talking directly to you through this forum. But I want your feedback, and it's a very interesting thing that happened to me not long ago, and I'm a bit puzzled, but I'm not. First of all, let me preface this video by saying this. Uh, I was born down south. I'm not country necessarily, but I was born down south. And down south, we have southern ways. For example, we say yes, ma'am, yes, sir. We hug, we kiss one another, we cook good food, and we believe in socializing and just loving people just in general. That's the way I was raised. That's the way we are. And pretty much that's indicative of down south people. Now, I know people have principles and they have standards and they have ways in which they were taught and or raised as children up until adulthood. But there is something very interesting that I just experienced not too long ago, as I said, and here it is. I have a friend, and I've known him for some years now, and I was talking to him. He called me, and we spoke for several minutes, maybe 20 minutes or so, and he was going to leave the phone. He said, well, I'll get back with you later. I'll talk to you later. And I said, tell your wife that I said hi. And he stopped me. He said, what does that mean? I said, excuse me? He said, what does that mean? Tell my wife you said hi. I noticed that before you said that. And I've been meaning to ask you, what does that mean? He said, because she don't know you. And she's not trying to know you. And I was taken. I said, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean any harm. He said, well, it's okay. He said, but you have always said that when we have conversation and we're about to hang up. You say, tell your wife that I said hi. He said, we're both men. I said, yes, true. And he said, well, I don't play that. I wasn't raised like that. That's not how I am. When a man asks me about my wife or tell my wife hi, my wife doesn't know him and she's not even trying to know you. I said, okay. I said, I respect it. He said, I've been meaning to tell you that. He said, I noticed over the past years you've been saying that. And I like, wait a minute. I said, let me say this. First of all, I respect what you're saying. I honor that. And I won't do it again. However, it's odd to me, based on what you just said and what I know as well. I've been saying this as long as I've known you. Tell your wife I said hi, and you've never said anything about this until now. He said, yeah, I know I should have. And he said, you're right, I should have, but I've been curious about why you were saying it. Okay, now, this is me. I get she's not your friend, you're my friend, and she's not trying to get to know you and things like this. But I feel that that was a bit juvenile, that approach to me, because I feel as though we are friends. Then if I'm your friend, your wife should have a certain connection with me as being your friend, not think of me just simply as a stranger. You know, let's say, let me use this scenario. Let's say um, we are all bowlers. I bowl, he bowls, my wife bowls, and his wife bowls, and we are on a bowling team together. His wife would know my wife as I know him. We don't have a separate relationship. I would know his wife as he would know my wife. And it could be a card game that we have every week or once a month or whatever. We could be part of a card game group or team or what have you. We could have a club, a card club, if you will. Now, it could be any other sport where my wife would know his wife and him, and his wife would know my wife and me, and we have a friendship, a mutual friendship. Would it then be wrong for him to call my house and my wife answers the phone and say, "Hey, how you been doing?" and have a conversation with her? Or would it be wrong if he called my house and he's talking to me for him to say, "Well, tell your wife I said hi"? Do you see my point? We know each other through bowling or through cards, card club or whatever, as friends. So should she be disassociated with his and I having a relationship as if we don't exist as friends, all four of us? Do you get what I'm saying? On one hand, I get what he's saying and I respect it. Trust and believe I respect what he said. But what I don't appreciate and I don't respect is the fact it took you years, and I don't mean 1 or 2 years, I'm talking about 4 or 5 years, to say something to me about it. And when you said it, it was if you were a father chastising his son, and I'm not your son. I just don't like how he approached me. I didn't feel any real anger or vitriol, but I did feel a little uneasiness when he made the statement to me or asked the question of me, "Why are you telling me to tell my wife hi? She doesn't know you and she's not trying to know you." I didn't like that. So I thought about it a little bit longer and I flipped it around and I said, well, what if my wife called to talk to his wife and they're talking? And then his wife said, "Tell your husband, me, that I said hi." I could see that point, or my friend's point, because I don't think I would necessarily like my wife, or my wife would probably not like her saying, "Tell your husband that I said hi," unless we're all friends. We're all mutual friends. We've all been friends for a while. Now, I can see it being more uncomfortable if we were not friends, if we were associates and sort of distanced or complete strangers. I could see that. That makes sense. So, where do you draw the line with friendship, family to family, when you can't say hi to the other person's spouse over the phone? I'm not saying put her on the phone or put him on the phone, this kind of thing. I'm saying you're being cordial, because if I call your house and you're a man and you have a wife and she answers the phone, am I supposed to behave as though she doesn't exist? And, let me talk to your husband. Skipping past her, I'm sure she'd say something to him. He said, "Well, why are you talking so abrupt and so abrasive to my wife?" He wouldn't like that then. So why does he have a problem with me saying, "Tell your wife I said hi," if we are all friends? Now, I get it again. I'm going to say this again. She's not trying to know you. She don't know you and she's not trying to know you. That part is pretty rough to me. Because to be told this many years removed from when we first developed the friendship, it's like too late. And it's like you're stabbing me. That's how I feel. I'm not carrying it on my sleeve. I'm not wearing this on my sleeve. I just want to get some feedback from you and let me know what you think about this. He should have said something to me, maybe after the first time, but definitely the second time. So now, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I want to add this in here as well. Let's say, hypothetically, I'm married to a woman and I have a cousin that has a wife. Could have said brother, but I have a cousin that has a wife. We're family. Okay, so we go on family outings. We do all of the things that families do. We go to movies together. We go to events together. We go to dinner and lunch and sporting events and things like this. And we have family uh, planning and things like this. We do various activities together as family. Not just the cousin and his wife, but all of our family does. So his wife is part of my family, as is my wife part of his family, my cousin, that is. Now, let's say her name is Karen. I'm talking to my cousin on the phone, and I said, "Tell Karen I said hi." Would I be wrong? Get my point? Now, let's flip that around. My cousin's name is Joe, let's say. My wife's name is Margaret. And I'm talking to Joe on the phone, and we're about to leave the phone, and Joe says, "Tell Margaret I said hi." Is there anything suspicious about that? Or are we just simply family? Now, back to my friend and the original premise of this video, what caused me to make this video. Aren't we just simply friends? But I still get that your wife doesn't know me and she's not trying to know me. I understand that. I think that's just an era that you grew up in or he grew up in, and I respect that again. But aren't we all just friends? And if I call to talk to you and she answers the phone, am I supposed to ignore her as if she doesn't exist? I have no conversation with her at all. What if she was ill or had an operation and I say, "How do you feel now? Your husband told me that you were going through some difficult times with your whatever." I'm not supposed to be concerned as a friend of his about his family. I'm sure you get what I'm saying now. Now, if you've experienced something similar to this and you would like to share it, please do. I'm curious to know how you handled this situation, or if you did anything about it at all, or said anything about it. Now, also, if you haven't experienced anything like this, take a moment, take a deep breath, and process the information that I just gave to you, and tell me what you think should have been my response if it were you, and what do you think about what he said to me 4 or 5 years later. And I've been saying this, tell your wife I said hi all of these years. Innocently, just being a friend of his. No ill intentions at all. That was it, and that was all on this interesting topic today. This is Brother Teacher. So long.